Hey guys, MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another discussion video. And today I want to talk about a particular fighting game that has pretty much have everybody talking right now in the fighting game community, and it pretty much got me excited. And that's the rumor. It's a rumor so far. It's not been confirmed or validated yet, but there's a rumor that Marvel vs. Capcom 4 could be a possibility, and everyone is going crazy. Everyone is excited, and I remember that after Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate was released, and I was wondering, like, what's going to happen next with Marvel, the relationship that Marvel and Capcom has with one another. Will we ever see a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, or will we see some updates, constantly added to, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom as far as characters, patches, and everything? And then, at the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, and after they released, their patch and added new modes and everything, and then after that, Marvel had pretty much pulled their deal off the table, the license, and then pretty much that was it. They couldn't update the game no more, couldn't patch the game. So the fighting game community was kind of bummed out as far as that's concerned. No longer receiving any updates or any patches. So whatever was in the game, that was pretty much it, and people just had to learn how to work around it and just deal with it. So now, once Marvel had, took the rights back, to their office, they pretty much started trying to go back into development games of their own, and that was pretty much when Disney was working on the Disney Infinity franchise. And the thing was, just recently, about like a couple months ago or almost a year ago, Disney had announced that they are closing down shop on, I guess you could say, their gaming studio or their gaming development department, and they was going to go back to figuring out how they want to restructure, how they going to license out their brand, their characters again, to third-party developers. So that pretty much sparked up the interest in the fighting game community, because the people in the fighting game community were saying pretty much that, hey, if Marvel and Disney are now going back to doing what they normally do by building relationship with third-party developers, there could be a possibility that they can lend out characters back to Capcom again, and maybe we'll see a Marvel vs. Capcom game, a sequel, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So I remember that conversation because everybody's been talking about it. Everybody was hoping and wondering, hey, when will we ever see a Marvel vs. Capcom 4? So just last week, there was some information that had been dropped out around the fighting game community. Some of the people in Evo, some of the top people in Evo, some fighting game, some people that's deep in the fighting game community was passing around this information. Especially in NeoGAF forum, there was some information going around that at the PlayStation Experience that Marvel and Capcom is going to announce Marvel vs. Capcom in some shape or form, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So this pretty much got everyone going crazy, and I'm wondering if it is true. This is, to me, I'll be excited, even though I wasn't really heavily a big fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I still respect the franchise and I still love the franchise. And to see another Marvel vs. Capcom game, I'm all welcome for it. I can't wait to see how they do it, especially when you got the next gen consoles here, PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and soon the Nintendo Switch. So I can't wait to see how would that game look if it is true. Now, there was some more information that just came out recently too. Is the fact is that from Polygon, a Polygon article had got sources saying that that most likely that the roster, as far as the Marvel side is concerned, it's going to be sticking along the lines of to the characters and franchises aching to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what we see in the movie theaters. Guardians of the Galaxy. We have soon Black Panther coming out. We have the Avengers. We have Captain America, Thor, and all of them. So, and now we got Sony and Disney and Marvel has finally got together. So Spider-Man down. So now they're pretty much saying that we can probably expect some characters more so along those lines than Marvel with the Marvel Cinematic Universe to keep everything on course and lined up with one another. So, in a business sense, that makes a whole lot of sense. And then the other information came out, since they're trying to stick along the lines of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There was also a discussion about that we won't see any X-Men characters or any characters part of the X-Men universe. We may not see them in this Marvel vs. Capcom game because, as you know, Fox owns the rights to Marvel vs. Not Marvel vs. Capcom. Fox owns the rights to the X-Men franchise and all its characters that's part of that universe and Fantastic Four. So that's kind of a bummer. Trying to imagine seeing a a Marvel vs. Capcom game without Wolverine, you know, or without Storm and Magneto, Sentinel, and Juggernaut. They were pretty much the staple characters, you know, missing Gambit and stuff like that. So that's kind of a bummer that if it is true that we won't see any of the X-Men characters, because these are the characters that pretty much pushed this whole franchise forward. Simply by Children of Adams, simply by putting Akuma as a character in Children of Adams, had pretty much sparked this idea of, hey, it would be a cool idea to have Street Fighter fight X-Men characters and so forth and so on. So just to see not having the staple the main characters that really push this genre to be what it is to this day, this franchise today, to what it is today, is just a bummer if it is true. And then not only that, I also see it as a way is now Marvel vs. Capcom back in the day, the Marvel vs. series in general, these games was really made for the fans. You know, you seen obscure characters, and you seen these characters in the game, and it followed pretty much to every Marvel game. And then I noticed when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, a lot of those characters didn't make a return, like Psylocke, Gambit, and everything, because now the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been making money. Disney is a company first and foremost. So now Marvel vs. Capcom is not more so, you know, just dedicated to the fans anymore. Now it's used as a marketing tool to promote upcoming Marvel properties and everything. So it's going to be a bummer to see that we may not, you know, see certain characters that, you know, that we enjoyed from the previous games and may not make a return, you know. So that kind of sucks, because now it's just a marketing thing. Let's get a product out there. Let's get some characters out there to make people fully aware. So by the time we had the product ready, people knew who they are through Marvel vs. Capcom. So that kind of sucks. But Capcom don't really have too much say in what Marvel, and like, you know, they can suggest what characters they like to put in the game. But at the end of the day, it's Marvel has a say so in what characters they would want in the game on the Marvel end. But Capcom, they really need to step their game up as far as their characters. We need to see some more obscure, we need to see, characters from different games, and because that last roster, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 roster, on the Capcom side, I wasn't really too impressed with that roster. I was kind of disappointed. I want to see some Power Stone characters. I want to see probably some Breath of Fire characters. There are so many characters that Capcom can pretty much utilize for the Capcom side. So we know Marvel's going to pretty much be static. It's going to be fixed. We already know we could probably possibly expect and put together. But for the Capcom side, Capcom should go crazy in this department. Put some amazing characters in here. If you want to use this as a marketing tool too, Capcom should definitely put some of their obscure or characters that you hardly see, like Rival Schools and stuff. They try to get people fully aware of these characters and that they exist in the Capcom universe. So that's pretty much my opinion. I'm really excited for this game. If it is true, if it does come out, we got to wait Sunday for the PlayStation Experience event that's being held Sunday. So I can't wait for that, and hopefully it may be true. But it's looking more and more true. This rumor been sticking around for the longest now, and everybody been talking about it, and it's just been circulating even crazier as it's getting closer to the PlayStation Experience. So that's pretty much my opinion. What do you guys think about Marvel vs. Capcom 4 if it is true? Are you excited for it? What Marvel characters are you expecting to see in this game, and what Capcom characters do you look forward to or you would like to see in this game? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you have a topic that you would love for me to discuss for a later discussion video, make sure you leave that in the discussion comment section below too. This is MugenLord signing off.